As you may have missed, Durk was being freed on bond after speaking with his father, according to the news. Given this, on the third attempt, the judge was unable to reject an offer from his lawyers because it was too good.
Just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son, at least for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's going to give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you, and inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
Consequently, the judge's decision-making process took 4 days. Sadly, Durk was just too rich to have his bond accepted. The paper reported that Durk will need to file for bankruptcy, and they fear that he would use his fortune to extort witnesses. So they want him to give up all he owns and be released on bond.
No bond for Lil Durk. Let me tell you about what options he has left and why the bond was denied this time. Now, he's in federal court on a murder for hire charge where he faces the possibility of life in prison. What that means is, under the federal law, it is presumed that you do not get a bond because the charge and the penalty are so serious. So your lawyer has to go out there and show why you should get a bond. Now, ultimately, what the district judge decided to deny the bond on was a couple of factors. There's a couple $1 million being put up, but it's not all being put up by Durk. Some of it is from the label, and ultimately Durk has a lot more money and assets than what's being put up. So if I let him out on bond and he tries to flee, he's going to have tons of assets and money at his disposal.
And the federal government thinks that if Durk is free, he will punish those who have wronged him, but it seems that he has already done so. Glee, Durk's pal from day one, passed away in Chicago last night. And a comment went viral saying, did anyone hear from Jam after he spied Durk? After Jam was revealed to be a snitch on DJ Vlad's show, he has been missing for months. Other gang members are losing their lives.
Guy named OTF Jam.
That was wired.
Very ironic name.
Jam
now
got
he
him
put
in
everyone in the jam.
Did 12 years.
12
got
years.
Out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
This. Made mention that ain't no smut on his name. He ain't never been a rat. Caught a gun case, but eventually he flipped.
F members allegedly found Jam hidden in a crib outside of Atlanta when it hit the news. The sources say that Jam has not been heard from since he gave the feds a picture of the residence, where Durk was hiding as a form of punishment for snitching on him. While it passes currently 230 gigabytes of digital data, including 20,000 pages of reports, audio recordings, and video surveillance are being examined for discovery. However, because of the evidence they found, Durk is now facing 2 more possible murders for hire. The paper claims that the feds think Durk paid for these 2 people to deal with number 1, Stephen Mack, who got number 2 for Durk's brother. Dang. Durk's baby mama died when he found out that Jam had a wire around him. Jam is thought by the feds to have the key to Durk's incarceration for all 3 crimes. In this Instagram Live, Jam is seen talking into his jacket as if he were wearing a wire.
Hey, kid! Check on your man, I heard you got his head. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I don't have a dare. Architect. Having who? I'm having a dare. School's out of time.
4 months before his incarceration, Jam had been acting strangely, and Durk knew it. Durk knew that Jam would acquiesce because he had been playing 3D chess since its inception.
See shit from a mile away.
I don't think people realize that.
I can have a conversation with you for 5 seconds and know your is gonna cooperate.
Durk went on to talk about it, saying that he no longer gives his friends any information.
Nobody is ever allowed to my house. It be our best friend never been in my house.
For real?
I promise.
Your best friend?
Promise. Like it's people like that I just don't allow around my girl and my kids, cause it's like I'm just a different type. I'm not the. We're gonna have family night at Durk house tonight. It's the you gotta watch.
Everybody at Durk's crib.
Yeah, we gotta. Everybody getting watched. We gotta watch everybody. Hey, you go too. Hey, they go too close to them kids. You know what to do. Like that's how I play. Like I don't play.
You have to remember that the Jam is the same person to whom Rue gave a $50,000 gift a few years ago.
Steady crying, huh? He's steady crying. Feed him. Feed him.
Get in the milk so baby mama get the tripping, bro. See that?
Feed
for my
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies, ain't it? I gotta hold my money like this. This too much. Crazy though. No sitting up there doing all this. Sneak this and the internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Not what I want to do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro. Goof,
bro got out what?
You know that
how many you did it all?
How many years I did it now?
Yeah, that's your last bit. 12?
12.
That boy popped out 12 years. Yeah. So much money. We really just get in order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
The feds investigated everyone from the live feed after learning that the same suspects who had removed Lil Pab were also involved in a jewel-buying spree with King. Von
Hey, big fan. We just looked at him.
Let's go over there.
You got
What up, bro? Boss, you good? My boy. Let's go.
They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in. The money man just stepped in.
But as further evidence that Durk had killed Stephen Mack for pay, they presented the judge with this Instagram tale, which was posted only half an hour after Stephen Mack's passing, and which was posted alongside this Instagram live of Durk laughing. The next
What? Tweak on the folks. Hey, somebody always said, slap a car. Somebody always said, slap a car.
A widely shared tweet said that Durk was rejected for bond. If you think that Durk was not given bond because of his money, you are unaware of this situation. Actually, Dre's brother just figured everything out. Instead of telling the public, they're keeping it a secret to surprise Durk's lawyers. But according to the evidence files, the new Ted body cam footage of him begging to snitch against Durk and F members has raised concerns, changed the case. However, it raises the question, what did Ted say to the feds? Durk's lawyers took a long time to submit documentation about their bail arrangement. When Durk's main batter, Ted, was detained by police at a convenience store, he had a gun in his trousers pocket because Ted is also FD, Da's brother.
Really?
Dude had a what about that? A man had a with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
Ted would be taken to the police station, where he would confess to the officers that he was in tears. I'll tell you all about the murder.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
Everything. I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you, please.
Ted can be seen crying hysterically as he waits to be placed in a holding cell and wants nothing more than to tell others what he knows.
Come on, you gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? What you saying, man?
We're gonna see what we can do for you, alright?
We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a buzz from prison. Relax.
Give me No, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
What's interesting is that the court paperwork included Ted's last name, which is also his brother Des' last name, which many people assumed D was found snitching when it was Ted. And Durk's best friend Bazoo had to settle the situation after King Van's cousin Vonnie was suspected of snitching.
No motherfucker know what's going on, but them people that's in them courtrooms, man. For real, for real. Them be false accusations. Y'all don't even know what the be going on for real. Y'all really be trying to play Inspector Gadget and all this. Y'all just be weird as hell. That's what I be talking about, man. Like, first y'all that threw the jams rumors out there. Now y'all talking about Vonnie a snitch, gang. A snitch on what? Y'all don't even really know what's going on for real. My kids, y'all really just be running. And that's why I don't participate in nothing that got to do with nothing illegal. Because of you motherfuckers, y'all be trying to get them put under the jail.
There was a great deal of uncertainty when DJ Academic even discussed TF Vonnie apparently snitching against Durk.
When you see Flacco post something, you almost gotta be like, look at this headline. Lil Durk found out his co-defendant OTF Vonnie, King Von cousin, filed for protective custody when they came to court. Okay. That sounds so crazy. This is why we have streams like this. This is, you know, I'm not gonna get on anybody or anything like that, and I'm not gonna ever say that I haven't, you know, maybe jumped maybe once in a while, but I definitely do aim to be correct, and I never try to be incorrect out of malice, right? This is why we love to bring up the paperwork and try to explain it, and also increase everyone's knowledge on stuff, because a lot of times these days the headline is way better than the story.
Because the prosecution is destroying its own evidence, Durk still has a chance to be released from
the allegation they backed away from, which is huge. It shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy.
Because the prosecution is no longer able to use Durk's lyrics against him. Drew, Durk's lawyer, says the charges are on.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Act. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
But they want to go the distance, Drew said. Durk's team will not accept a plea deal.
You know, likelihood of a plea. I think a lot of people have seen, like, this seems like it's a do or die thing. This is kind of like it's going to be like a 1 or 0 type of situation. You're either are or you're not. Is Durk, from your understanding, or you as a lawyer right now, as his criminal attorney, are you open to possible conversations about plea deals? Are you thinking, no, we're going all the way? Would you entertain it, just entertain it, because that's your job to listen to it and maybe present it to Durk, or that's just off the table?
It's a conspiracy commitment case. It's an all or nothing case, and he did not participate in a conspiracy to commit. And so there is no alternative. It's a life sentence, potential life sentence. So this case is going to go to 12 people.
Durk's lawyers are pursuing this case for one reason. They are putting off a First Amendment.
First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records, and there are pop records, and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is bad.
Online lawyers are even forecasting Durk's release from prison, similar to Young Thug's, because he seems to be doing well.
We've seen it happen quite a bit. I don't know that I'd say it's been persuasive. I think the biggest example we look at is Young Thug. Down in Atlanta. They took a lot of his lyrics, and even though technically speaking, ultimately they got a conviction, he actually walked out on time served. Most of the people that were prosecuted didn't end up being convicted, and I don't think anybody would call that prosecution a successful prosecution. And so, you've got freedom of speech issues. Does it mean that just because I'm saying something in a rap song, and it typically is a rap song, does that mean that I actually did something? And this is an extra interesting twist here, because Lil Durk's attorney is saying, well, this song was actually released months before.
As one attorney pointed out, the issue with prosecutors is that they don't know what rap culture is.
And I'll go out on a limb and say that sometimes prosecutors don't necessarily understand hip-hop culture. It's almost like a text without context. So you got to really understand the time, the place, the audience. Sometimes they might speak in ways that seem direct to somebody that's outside of the culture, but doesn't necessarily, but can mean several things to someone inside the culture. So it would certainly be a flub, big time, right? But it wouldn't be the first time that such a thing has happened, where somebody looking through the window, particularly of hip hop culture, doesn't understand what's being said other than their desired use.
But the Fed knows that artists tend to be connected. Because after Brick Baby's arrest, it was disclosed that prosecutors delayed Durk's bond release to gather last-minute evidence against him for the court date. Rumors of a new informant are circulating the courtroom as large U Brick Baby loose. Within a week of Brick Baby's arrest being public, Cannon and others were taken into custody. Lawyers worry that Brick Baby, who was arrested during the gang raid, would turn against Durk, given the date of both arrests. Lawyers believe the federal Brick Baby will have to give up everything for Durk. Durk stated on a live stream 3 years ago that you can't say Durk never slid for Vaughn because they got Pab when the FBI initially sought him for hire because of Brick Baby.
Was this an attempted hit, or
well, they can't say that no more?
Then they put you as
well.
Like, who died?
You can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash?
Flacco talking about
who?
Federal charges in California.
Nah, because Lil Pab.
So this is about the...
Oh! What's that?
But I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more.
However, did you know that Brick Baby stated something much worse? The federal authorities informed me that they had obtained an ATTI and the location, citing Durk's lyric evidence. And they related it to Brick Baby, saying that if Durk had asked, he would have Quando Rondo.
Then it's people like, you lined up somebody from your hood. Like, listen, I didn't. But at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Oh, this is my boy. He lost his boy. Who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, had he had asked me, I probably would have been coking if he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, can I leak a bar?
Sure.
I said if he make the call right now, I'd up it.
Right.
However, did you know that Brick Baby stated something much worse? The federal authorities informed me that they had obtained an ATI and the location, citing Durk's lyric evidence. Where was Quando Rondo if Durk had inquired?